What up, fam? Welcome back to another video. I'm so excited to be continuing this series. I think the name should be Exploring the Darkness, because I feel like the past few videos that I've made were talking all about the darkness and more of the taboo things that a lot of people don't want to touch on. I happen to be someone who loves to talk about things that are taboo and that most people are afraid of talking about. That's just me. And so let's get into today's video. We are discussing the topic of fearing the unknown. I know that we've heard this so many times. We're so afraid of the unknown, or everyone will be like, yeah, you're just afraid of the unknown. I believe that this is completely false. We are not afraid of the unknown. We are afraid of what we're projecting into the unknown. Our fear of the unknown stems from our fear of the darkness. Because we don't understand the dark, we can't see what's in the dark, we fear it. It's kind of like the uncertainty that we have. When we don't understand something, we fear it. It's the ego that looks at something and sees if it cannot understand it, or if it doesn't understand what's happening, it thinks that its survival will be threatened. The ego's job is to keep us alive. So if we don't understand something, it could be a threat to our survival. So it's going to trigger the ego. This is exactly why we fear the unknown, because it could potentially mean we're not going to survive. We are getting to the point where we have an enlightened ego. Instead of letting the ego completely run and rule our life, we're bringing it to a place of unity within the soul. So we can actually take steps based on wanting to thrive instead of survive, because the ego's main job is to make us survive or to keep us alive. So if we're always moving from that place, we're moving from scarcity, we're moving from fear, and we're moving away from those things. We're moving from a place that is going to be much more expansive, that's going to allow us all to evolve as humanity, and that's going to require us to integrate our ego in a healthy way, because once again, we do need the ego. If we didn't have it, we would not get out of bed in the morning. We would not choose to eat, because there would be no separation between ourselves and other, which is important. I feel that if you learn to understand the darkness, do your research, read some books about it, just get to know more of the darker sides of life that a lot of people are afraid of, and I'll give you a few examples. The first example is the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is the dark aspect of our mind. The conscious mind is only 5%. 5% of what we can see through our eyes, because we're only conscious, or we're only able to perceive 5% of what's going on in life, which is crazy if you think about it. 95% of what's really happening, we're not even able to perceive with our 5 senses. The fact that we have other senses, obviously spiritual gifts, things like intuition, that's a whole nother topic for another video, but right now what I'm speaking about is our 5 senses. We're not able to pick up on the other things that are happening in the subtle realms or in the energy realm with just our sight and hearing and all those things. So with the understanding of the subconscious, if we do research on understanding, getting to know how the subconscious mind works, that's going to help us recognize a little bit more of how the darkness works. Another example I gave in one of my Instagram videos was, if you think about it, when we're being created in the womb, we are in darkness for 9 months. That is the creation process. All creation begins and starts in the darkness. Just like everything has to be created first through thought and through the subconscious, and then it becomes conscious. So it starts in the darkness and then becomes light. So the fear of the darkness is honestly just our lack of understanding or our ignorance of our own creation. In fact, I think there is so much wisdom and so much beauty and the mysteries of life that come from the darker aspects of life that have been shunned and disowned and pushed away, because I think this goes hand in hand with the suppression of feminine energy, because the feminine is also the darker aspect of life. The feminine, when I'm talking about feminine, this doesn't mean female or male. We're not talking about genders, we're talking about energy. Feminine energy is receptive energy. It is the aspect of life that is the dark side. Just like the subconscious is the receptive mind and the dark mind, the feminine can be categorized in that receptivity or the darker aspect, whereas the masculine energy is more of the conscious and the light. Once again, I'm not someone who judges light and dark as good and bad. I believe that morality is a man-made concept. If you want to learn more about that, I made a video all about morality. You should check it out, it's really cool. But anyways, all of these things that I'm talking about when it comes to light and dark is just to bring awareness to the fact that anytime we fear something, it's because we don't understand it. So if you're someone who is afraid of the darkness, if you're afraid of your own feminine power, if you're afraid of sexuality, if you're afraid of transformation, if you feel like you're completely unaware of how you're creating your life or why your life is the way it is, you're probably someone who is unaware of the darkness, because the truth is, the more that you learn about these things, the more that you're going to consciously be able to create your life. When you understand the darkness, you can then create through the subconscious first, so that you can experience the life in, obviously, this 3D matrix. You're able to experience this life in a way that's actually pleasing and something that you actually want to experience, instead of creating through unconscious thoughts and unconscious patterns and things that have been programmed into you through society, family, and all those things. And that is why I make videos like this, to bring awareness to people, because most people out there are completely unaware of the fact that their life is being created and manifested by someone else. If you were someone, and the truth is, we've all been programmed and brainwashed to a certain degree. So it is our job to access the darkness by going into the subconscious mind, figuring out what programs are running, what's going on in there, learning how to work with the darkness and the light so that we can create a life that's truly in alignment with what we want to experience here. Because the truth is, you're not going to be able to fully step into your power as a creative being if you don't understand your subconscious mind, if you don't understand your feminine energy, and you don't understand the polarity, because we're living in a world where there's light and dark. And in order to be able to unify yourself so that you can be in alignment and actually create and have the power, again, to create what you truly want to experience, you have to be able to understand both sides. If you can tell, I'm very passionate about this stuff. I am someone who used to be so freaking scared of the dark. I was afraid of my own feminine power. I was afraid of anything that had to do with healing and going into my own subconscious, because I had so much trauma from my past. I had so much ancestral patterning that had been playing out in my life, and I was wondering why I was living from scarcity. Why was I not able to attract money? Why did I keep having partnerships and friendships where I just felt like everyone was taking advantage of me? And I was living in a place of victim, because most people in this world are living from a place of victim. We're not taking responsibility for our own lives because we don't know how. Once again, it goes back to our ignorance, our lack of understanding of how to create our life, which is causing us to fall back into old patterns of victim consciousness because we don't know what to do. I am here to bring awareness and light so that we can be empowered to create our own lives, because we all have the power to create. We are all born inherently with the power of creation. If you are breathing, if you are alive, if you are watching this video, you have the same power as I do to create the life that you truly want to live. And we all deserve to live that life. So hopefully this video will reach the people who need to hear it. I'm here to empower you, to remind you, you are a powerful creator, you are worthy, you deserve to create the life that you truly want to experience here. You're here for a reason. all of the information for my coaching is in the description box below. And I would love to have you guys be a part of the fam. My whole goal with this channel is to create a community of like-minded individuals where we can empower each other, remind each other of our divinity and our power. So please subscribe. Would love to have you. Like the video. It does support my channel and helps me grow. And until next time, guys, I will see you later. Bye.